Let's see if I remember how to do this. Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover podcast, where we raise the bar and lower the tone on things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 11th of January 2023 after an extended Christmas break, and game week 19 still isn't finished. We're recording this on a Wednesday, so still the Chelsea and Fulham match to go tomorrow evening before we can really wrap up the game week. But we are also 2 days out from game week 20 starting, a big double game week 20. So after having a look at Paddy's team, I knew it was time to get back in the studio, and here this evening is the man himself. Paddy, how are you getting on, my friend?
It's great to be back, Ger. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year to all the listeners and to the millions and millions watching on YouTube. I know you have missed us because the inbox is full. Sorry I haven't got back to everyone, but we're back now and we're ready to take this fucking FPL by the balls.
Yeah, the end of the season. We're going to grab it by the scruff of the
Yeah,
neck and shoot.
it's not over. It's not over till it's over.
No, there's plenty.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. FPL Hangover. It is what it is. But no, there's plenty of twists and turns left in the season, and we got thrown a few curveballs this week, game week 20, since we last spoke, which obviously was ages ago. We've got double City fixtures, and there's more potential doubles and potential blanks, and it's just that time of the season, Paddy, isn't it? And it's kind of crept up on us.
Yeah, and that's why we've been a bit quiet on the pod scene too. They've been coming thick and fast, these games, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a mixture. Like, we had a Christmas episode ready to go, and then
I nearly died.
You nearly died. Paddy was in a car crash, and I'm glad to see he's doing much better and stuff. But
just about, still struggling.
So if you want to send any donations to Paddy, you can follow him.
I'll put my PayPal link there, so I will.
Yeah, dude, that'll really help with the
pain.
With the pain
and the PTSD.
But so yeah, shit got in the way of the Christmas episode that got canned, and then as you said, they're just coming thick and fast now, and I guess it's not gonna be too much different, I think, between now and the end of the season, though. I think, like, with the World Cup out of the way, we're gonna just have our regular blanks and doubles, and it feels like we're getting into that stage of the year already where Ben Crellin becomes a must-have, a god, for 2 months, and we all become shivering wrecks till the end of the season.
It's kind of that part of the season where the casuals start to die.
Yeah, I imagine a few of them didn't come back after the World Cup.
Yeah, and they won't have a clue what to do with their chips and things, and they're all over the place. So, you'll see your ranks probably start to go if you listen to this podcast regularly now.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll rise to the top of your mini leagues.
And that's a money back guarantee.
Yes.
Yeah. But actually, what is the lay of the land, Paddy? As I said, it's been a while. How is game week 19 going for you?
It's going shite. It's going shite. I was one of those people that brought in Mitrovic for the double.
Yeah.
But I was also one of those people who didn't captain him.
Oh, you went with the Haaland.
I went with the Haaland captaincy. Not that that's a great boast, because if I had a captain Mitrovic, I would have still got more points than Haaland. But it's not going to blow up in my face. Kepa left to play, and Andreas. That's my two players. I'm on 38 points at the moment. The average is 43. I expect that to maybe go up a little bit, depending on how.
Yeah, I think the proper average is probably a little bit higher as well, because of there'll be, as we mentioned, there'll be a lot of dead teams now and stuff with that'll be dragging that down. But yeah, not a great game week for you so far. But I think with the regards to the Haaland and Mitrovic debacle of game week 19, I feel like both parties will be pretty happy.
Yeah, I suppose Mitrovic didn't go bananas and Haaland stayed quiet. So
yeah, Haaland didn't go nuts, and Mitrovic got his ban, which in the kind of way after getting a goal. So it was like, oh, okay, whatever, bit of a tit for tit, as no one ever says.
Yes.
But I was on the Mitrovic side of the armband this week and picked up 50 points so far, and the same players as you, Paddy, left to go with Andreas and Kepa to see how that goes tomorrow. The Andreas Pereira captain, like, that'll be, I think that's the only real sting left in the tail this week.
Yeah, that will sting us if that happens. But I mean, a lot of those guys will be hoping for any Fulham goal as well.
Yeah.
For the Kepa, so it's a real It's Kepa versus Fulham.
Yeah, there was.
Well, Andreas even.
Yeah, that's. I mean that, and Andreas Cappers, I suppose. Yeah, but yeah, that's game week 19. I mean, we're fully focused on game week 20, and I mean we've got loads to talk about this week. We've got the upcoming doubles, Cancelo, triple captains, United, Kane, usual mini league and stuff. So yeah, if you're going to stick around, make sure to give us a like and follow and all the usual buzzwords that you hear in this part of every podcast. But yeah, game week 20, Paddy, starting on Friday, I believe. Are you set?
Yes.
Are you set? A birdie told me that you had made your.
I am set, yeah. But just before we just move right into 20, when is game week 19 over? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night is the Fulham Chelsea match.
Tomorrow night is the Fulham Chelsea match. Okay, so right, excellent. So then straight into the new game week right after that.
Yeah, game week 20 is Friday night. Aston Villa Leeds. So like literally.
So we have all day.
Yeah, we have to wait a full day, and then we're back into a new game week. But you've made your transfers. You're prepped.
I am ready. I'm ready for the double. I already had 2 United players.
Yeah.
Before I had Rashford and Martial, and I already had 3 Man City players with Cancelo, De Bruyne, and Haaland. Cancelo has been a real letdown. I'm sure anyone who has him. Do you have him?
I do. I still have him. Did you? He wasn't one of your transfers this week. That's going to be the big talking point. I mean, for the Man City fixtures, is like the 3 best players. If you had asked us, before the World Cup, it was an easy 3.
That's them.
That's them. And now it's like, fuck, Cancelo is really the whole backline. I mean, I think even
De Bruyne's been quiet as well.
De Bruyne has been quiet, but I mean, he's still City's best midfield option.
Yes,
that kind of way. Whereas like the backline where Cancelo was so reliable, now it's up in doubt. I mean, I don't know if you heard tonight, but there was a report from a City journalist that Stones is unfit. I just saw the word John Stones and not fully fit for tonight in the Carabao Cup. So I mean, the defender who I thought was most nailed on for City has now been thrown into a little bit of a doubt. So yeah, I don't know. I think outside of Ederson, City clean sheets are going to be. It's hard to really target that for game week 20.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you already have them, I mean, you're probably not. You're not moving them out, are you?
I'm not.
Me neither. Like, I mean, you'd be just trying to bring in another double game week player, and just hope that Cancelo does his thing. Did Cancelo start tonight?
He did, which is more worrying.
Oh, that is worrying.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, he's in my team. He's going to stay there.
Yeah.
And I think, if you were to ask me now, what 3 Man City players I'd like to have in my team, it would be De Bruyne without a doubt, and it would be Mahrez.
See, that's the big question, isn't it? Like, I mean, if you're to ask me the same question, I don't think I could land on Mahrez.
Would you rather go Ederson?
If I was to go with 3 right now, and you were to, if I was free hitting into 3 City players, it would be Ederson over Mahrez. Yeah, because Mahrez just is, for a start, he's 2 transfers if you're looking to bring him in, and secondly, you've no idea when he's going to be taken out again. I mean, if you ask, like right now, it feels like the likes of Grealish and Mahrez are City's preferred 2 up top alongside Haaland, but I mean, that could change in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Foden could work his way back in. Yeah, I don't know. I think Mahrez is a punt, but you also.
I mean, I guess you're right, and the voice of reason there. If you're on a free hit, I think Mahrez would be an alright shout. Like if you want to get and along with your other 2 boys, but long term, I don't know. You're going to be stuck with that worry as a rotation. Minutes sharing minutes with Foden, Grealish, or whatever. So. I think maybe for a free hit or something, if you were doing it, I think Mahrez would be a nice pick, but that'll be it.
I think with regards to Cancelo as well, just to bring it back to him, is with this double, holding on to him, like City also have a double game week 23. It's not just game week 20. So City are playing Villa at home and Arsenal away in game week 23, just 3 game weeks out.
Yeah.
So at least if you held on to him this week, just the way I'm just bargaining with myself, but if you hold on to him this week, you get to see, and he fucks you, it's a lot easier to start planning his kind
Exactly.
of removal for game week 23.
Exactly, Ger. So that's another reason that you can just hold him and take and gamble it a wee bit. And you know what? I still have a bit of faith that he's gonna, play both games.
Yeah, I think like there's a with the way Pep is, I think there's a total possibility that he has a great game tonight in the Carabao Cup, and Pep goes, oh, boom, he's back to what I need him to be, because a lot of people are talking about Cancelo and Lewis, this new young fullback who's kind of made a bit of a name for himself over the last post World Cup couple of weeks.
Yes.
And I just like, it seems obvious to me that Cancelo is probably playing for that left back position, where Ake has kind of been.
He's nailed, like.
Well, I wouldn't say he's nailed. That's the thing. I think Cancelo can play himself back into the team. I don't know what his attitude problem is. That's how it very much feels based on Pep's comments, is that he's not happy with, maybe the effort. We saw Cancelo kind of lose his place in the World Cup, and maybe he's just kind of carrying over a bit of a block since then. But I just think maybe Pep can shake it out of him, and once he does, if he does, he goes right back to that nail City asset that we've known for the last couple of seasons.
And if he doesn't, he's a nice price tag. I mean, there's plenty other guys we can move to and be happier with. So.
Yeah, especially with all the upcoming doubles. I mean, like you're gonna, we don't know. Like there's supposed to be an announcement on Friday, which will be before the game week 20 deadline. That's why I've held off on my transfers, and I would have suggested that people do the same. But as I mentioned, I think Paddy, you've already shot your wad.
I blew the load.
You did, and we'll touch on that after this. But
my load?
there is.
You're gonna touch my load?
Oh,
Jesus.
Fuck.
He wants to touch my load.
Phrasing.
Clip that.
Yeah, clip that out. But
clip that in.
We'll go back and we'll talk about your transfers.
My load. Transfers.
To frame it politically. But yeah, we'll go back and touch on them in a while. But just in terms of the possible upcoming double game week announcements in game week 20, that's before the game week 20 deadline. Like, I'm keeping my ear to the ground and hoping that there's a bit of information before that, because talk about Cancelo and the team, he does hold value. If he does make a balls of this double game week in terms of minutes or whatnot, then there's 2 or 3 million easy that you can suck out of that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. While we're on the subject and of your load, do you want to maybe talk about how you decided to approach this game week?
Yeah, well, I just thought I looked at my team and I had 3 City, as I said. I had 2 Manchester United, and I thought to myself, I wouldn't mind a couple of more double game week players. So I pulled the pin. Yeah, shock horror. I pulled the pin on Mitrovic. His fixtures are starting to go down the drain anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you've made the transfer and you're looking at it a few weeks later and you're going, what the fuck was I thinking?
That's the way I was. So I got rid of him and I brought in Harry Kane, for the double. Okay.
You went Kane train.
Yeah, Kane train. Then I looked at the defence and I thought Robertson. I thought Liverpool are just fucking finished with the clean sheets. I mean, they're leaking goals. I mean, they may score all they want, but Robertson, the price of Robertson too. So I brought in Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And that was my -4. So Kane and Shaw, and that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double game week players, and I'm quite happy with that.
How bad? I think considering you already had the likes of KDB and Martial, who are all doubling, it's like, it makes sense. You're now very light on Liverpool, but as you mentioned, they seem to be a bit dire, in some dire straits at the moment, so not too bad.
And I can move to Liverpool. I've got I've got big players in there, big funds. I can switch around a wee bit if I want to go back there for a fixture. But at the minute, I'd say I'm going to probably bank the next transfer anyway, so I can be prepared for the next double game week.
You've no idea. You've no idea what's going to come.
I know, but I sound like I do. Yeah, that's the main thing. Fake it till you make it.
You went with Kane. Any logic? I mean,
no fucking logic at all. Just he's a double game week, and on top of that, he's 30% ownership. It's a shield move as well, and the guy's he's being consistent.
Yeah, I think once one of the realizations I'd made was after we came back from the World Cup and we'd all done our unlimited transfers.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fathom why I wasn't considering Kane.
Oh.
Yeah, at the time. I mean, I think now, like maybe this is what I thought then, but now I'm looking at it going, no, I couldn't justify a Kane move. The Spurs are just
Spursy.
poor. They're just very poor. And Kane has had a great season, and he has delivered all season long, consistently tipping away.
Yeah.
And a massive haul in game week 19. But yeah, I just think Spurs are so poor. Oh, there we go. That's unprofessional.
Very unprofessional. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here, you phone. But yeah, no, with Kane, I'm just like, even if I don't expect that 16 pointer that he got this week feels like a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah,
considering how good how consistent he's been all season. I don't think he's been. Spurs certainly haven't been smashing teams.
No, he's been just ticking along, like you said. And do you know what? This is Kane's a player I never really have on my team either. You know, my seasons I don't really have Kane as my big player.
You seem like you've been a greedy boy this week, then.
I just thought, you know what, I'm bringing him in. I'm sick of it.
Greedy little pig.
Greedy. But look, come here. I think it's Arsenal and Man City has two. Like, it's not even like they're two simple fixtures.
No, it's horrible fixtures.
Yeah, but you know what? It could be one of those weeks where he gets an penalty or something. Or
see, that's the thing with Kane. Is like, everyone talks about his record in the North London derby. So I mean, they won't worry about the Arsenal match, and then City. I think Spurs tend to put up a bit of a fight against City. So and as you said, penalties and Kane talisman theory. Right in effect there. Yeah. But yeah, I've decided, like, for about 10 minutes today, because today's really the first day, because I knew we were recording tonight, that I got stuck into the weeds of content, like in terms of articles, videos, all that kind of shit. I was like, what is going on? And I'll be honest with you, Paddy, up until about 3 hours ago, I didn't know there was a double game week 23.
Jesus Christ.
I know, yeah. So that really kind of went, oh wait,
well,
KDB's almost essential.
Saying we're bearing our cocks, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know there was a double game week 23 until you said it in this podcast.
I figured that was the case. When you were talking, I was like, you don't know that there's a game.
I don't know. I'm only back in. I'm just jacked back into the Matrix today as well.
No, well that's what I said. I saw your team and I went, Paddy needs to fucking check himself before he wrecks himself.
Well, look, come here. That team wasn't the worst team, like.
No, it isn't the worst team. But
and I think I'm well equipped.
You know how I have premonitions. That was one of them. I was sitting down, a cold shiver over my spine, and I knew you needed us.
Yeah, us.
Oh well, that's it. We're a couple now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But, are you two people?
I'm definitely big enough for fucking two people.
Jesus Christ.
But so do you know who is doubling in game week 23? Dare I ask?
Yeah, fuck. Who?
It's Man City and Arsenal. So Arsenal have Brentford at home and Man City, and Man City have Villa and obviously Arsenal.
Well,
so go on. Sorry.
What? No, you go on, because you're the oracle. You're the All-Seeing Oracle.
Only in terms of real life, Paddy. Dogs just smashed her way into the room. But only in terms of real life. In FPL, I don't have a fucking clue. But yeah, it just meant that all of a sudden that triple captaincy question that everyone's been harping on about since fucking Monday. Haaland triple captain. It was hard not to even reference that in the fucking thumbnail. That takes on a bit of a new light when you look at Game Week 23's fixtures, wouldn't you say? And have you considered Haaland triple captain?
I never have. I never have, because I didn't like the fixtures for it. I like my triple captain fixtures to be plumb and juicy, and they just don't do it for me. And I actually, speaking of the Haaland captaincy, I seen a tweet. I think it was from the general himself, our good old friend. His thought process was that Haaland is fit. This is pro triple captain, right?
Oh, he's pro triple captain.
Yeah, okay. So his thought process, he's fit, okay? Mm-hmm. He might not be later. KDB is fit to supply him. He might not be later. There's no Champions League rotation concerns. There will be later. Chip activated. He's triple captain Haaland. But what would he know? Like, what would he know? I'm not. Are you?
Mark has lost it.
He's fucking lost the plot.
He's absolutely lost it. I wouldn't listen to him. He's phoning it in now. You know, I'm kidding. But do you not think all those arguments apply to game week 23 then? I mean, outside of the fact that two of the arguments were Haaland is fit and KDB is fit, and of course that's subject to change. But I believe 23 is before the Champions League kicks off as well. So I mean, like.
Yeah, but how close before 20? Like, I mean...
Like, if I was to say to you, Paddy, on paper, away to Man United, at home to Spurs, or...
I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. And then at home to Villa and away to Arsenal.
Yeah, I like that better.
I mean, that Villa fixture screams...
Yeah,
I mean, like, of course that's
a good fucking single fixture for a triple captaincy.
Exactly. And then to throw the Arsenal match on top of that, I'm like going... If I was to think about triple captain in the next two, that's probably...
Yeah, and I see Andy from Let's Talk's away triple captain Rashford.
This week? Or, is he
this
talking
week.
about the potential... That's not a terrible shout. I mean, I think you joked about it. I think there's rumours of United having, again, while I'm waiting, but a double game week 21, which is Leeds, Crystal Palace. I think there's so much fucking numbers in my head right now.
Yeah, well, it can't be Crystal Palace because they've Crystal Palace and Man City this week.
Yeah, but I think there's another Crystal Palace due to be rescheduled.
Holy fuck! So they play Crystal Palace like
Crystal Palace
twice
and Leeds. within 3 weeks or something like that. Yeah.
Well, that would be even better. No, there's no triple captainship this week.
Man United are actually playing Crystal Palace anyway in game week 20, and they're playing them again in game week 22. So I think the question is whether game week 22. Whether the Leeds fixture moves or whether the Crystal Palace fixtures move. So the Crystal Palace is happening. But if those fixtures got moved together, home Crystal Palace, away Leeds, for United, like that's triple cap. If the Rashford is anywhere near the form he's on right now, which is scintillating, then...
Beautiful word.
Yeah, then like, you know, that's as much of a fucking option. I mean, my question on triple captaincy, and I think it's something we should ask, is like, were we spoiled last year? Like, we had that Salah, was it Norwich and...
Yeah, that's right.
Norwich and Leeds, or Norwich and... just two... I think it was Norwich and Leeds. And two really, like... Oh, like, it just wasn't even a question. You just looked at that and went, yeah, that's a triple. No-brainer. And there is potential...
And we had the mythical triple game week as well.
Last week?
No, last season. Remember we all captained Dennis?
That wasn't a triple game week.
Fucking was.
No, it fucking was.
Fucking was, and he got a red card.
Yeah, I remember he got the red card. But was that a triple game week?
That was the mythical triple game week.
If that was a triple game week, and he got a red card and missed the following two, I feel like that would have burnt into my brain more. But now I'm starting to think maybe I just repressed it.
Yeah, you might have repressed it. Maybe I've just made it up.
Yeah, I have a tweet of Ben Krellin's on the screen, and I will obviously link to his Twitter profile in the description. So if you're on audio, just check out Ben Krellin on Twitter. But he just does become essential pretty much towards the end of the season, and he's talking about possible future double game weeks for City down the line. And in his words, there's a potential for like a game week 34 City versus Fulham plus Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton. You know, one of the three of them. Okay. So like if that's the case, like that's really a lovely fixture. But you know, as General kind of alluded to, you know, Haaland is fit and KDB is fit, and I mean that's the whole thing. Is like right now they're both fit, and the minutes, the potential for reduced minutes is far lower than I assume it'll be towards the end of the season. But at the same time, I'm not convinced on.
I'll not be doing it anyway. In a nutshell, I don't think it's a good triple captaincy game week. And do you know what? I'm just looking at the time. General put that up there, and that's around the same time he usually pops a couple of Guinness in, and so he's probably stocious.
Probably steamed.
Yeah, steamed. But I won't be doing it, and you'll not be doing it, Ger. And do you know what?
If that's not good enough for you, then get out.
But
like and subscribe, and then get out.
Yeah, you know? But play your own game.
Hashtag play
your own game.
What a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
No, play the game you're told to play.
Yes.
And at least that way you can blame everyone else. That's
That's amen. Amen.
a lot more peace of mind that way. But I'm in a bit of a dilemma, Paddy, because I noticed you haven't asked me about my team.
I was about to. Gee, I was just about to say I'm here. Let's
I know.
go. How did you get on? How are you getting on so far?
Well, I
Sure.
talked about. I did say I'm on 50 points, but I have a player that I don't. You probably haven't looked at my team. It's, that's your narcissistic way.
I have barely looked at my own team, Ger.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I have one player that I wasn't expecting to cause a dilemma right now, and he's one of the Man United options. Like if I was to say to you, what are the top three Man United options for game week 20, the double game week? What are your three? Rashford obviously number one.
Rashford.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw.
Fair enough.
And probably Bruno Fernandes.
That's the dilemma I have, the Fernandes dilemma.
Okay.
I actually have him since post World Cup.
Yeah, you've got 2 assists out of him.
I've got 2 assists out of him. I would have hoped for maybe a little more. What happened was, like, I didn't. It's not that I thought, oh, fucking Fernandes is a must-have. I just decided to go with only the 2 premiums, and I sacrificed my third striker spot down to a Greenwood and just basically kept a load of money in the bank because I knew shit was going to happen in a couple of weeks. I wasn't 100% convinced on what premiums I wanted or if I wanted to maybe go premium. Yeah. And I had a few extra bob and decided to splash out in Rashford with the idea that, he could become a Mount or a Sterling or like you could just attack the double game weeks that were possible. And somehow he's weaseled his way into a double game week 20, and now I can't get rid of him, can I?
No, you can't.
He has to stay, especially with the potential for...
How many transfers do you have?
I have 2. I rolled my transfer.
Well, you may forget about getting rid of Fernandes.
Yeah. No,
do you have De Bruyne?
No, I don't, you see, and that's where the problem is. But
your sidewards, well, not, you know what I mean?
I don't have De Bruyne, but I am thinking Salah to De Bruyne this week.
Yeah, that would be the move.
Yeah, I'm thinking James to Shaw, Salah to De Bruyne, and I keep Fernandes. And that way I have Fernandes, Rashford, Shaw.
And then you can deal with Fernandes just like we were talking about dealing with Cancelo. You've got a couple of weeks to...
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I can play it out. I'm going to wait and see what the doubles are like. But if United were to not get doubles, then I could always turn Fernandes back into... I could turn him into Salah next week if I really wanted. Or I could reverse the KDB. I mean, that's the thing, I think, with the upcoming doubles is, like, I don't think you need to be afraid of, swapping a premium or 2. I don't think Haaland ever leaves your team. But, I mean, I think Salah and KDB, they can be rotated a bit, no?
Yeah, they can, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that.
That's my big issue is that, Fernandes was supposed to become a KDB this week, and now he has a double, so I can't change that. So
and then you're looking at your midfield with 2 United midfielders in there as well, so you're probably losing sleep over.
I think the issue is that I don't think Fernandes is worth it. And yes, I have him, and I'm like, this is a weird position to be in.
You made the move, it didn't work out. It looked like a good move. It
was okay. He's been keeping me in the game for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I've been tipping green arrows and basically
sure.
Staying...
I've went with Martial
Yeah, but Martial's like a 6-point-odd million striker versus a 10 million midfielder.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think if you were to ask me what my 3 United players would be for the double game weeks, is Rashford, Martial, and Shaw.
Yeah.
But I have somehow, as I said, worked my way into Fernandes.
You don't have a bad 3 though. I'd say the ownership on Fernandes is
tiny.
It's tiny, isn't it? So I mean, you've got like a little hidden gem there. He could,
it's 3%.
He's a great player. Is he on penalties or is Rashford on penalties now?
See, that's another thing. Is I think so. Rashford took the penalty against was it Everton
in the cup? Wasn't it?
In the cup, yeah. So. But I believe he asked Fernandes, and Fernandes was like, "Yeah, work away." But I don't know what the fuck that means. I mean, I don't see why Fernandes would give up penalties.
But you see, Rashford's. I know it's a cup as well, but it's probably when you got your goal scorer scoring goals, the confidence. You want to keep that momentum and the confidence going. So I'm pretty sure Bruno was thinking of the team and being a good soldier and being like, "Yeah, go on, you're on." You're hot fire right now. Yeah, keep it going. Bring it into the next games,
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
I think if there was a penalty first penalty goes. I think maybe Bruno hits the penalty.
I think until I see Rashford take one ahead of Bruno in the league, I'm just going to assume, for my own sanity, I'm going to assume that there's always a chance of
Bruno
a Bruno penalty. Yeah,
but you've got both anyway.
I do, and I mean it'll be interesting, but even that hasn't satisfied me. In terms of the double game week, I feel like somehow I've screwed myself, but I guess I'm just being dramatic, Paddy. We did get a question this evening from the lovely FPL Flapjack.
Oh yes, I put the questions up really, really late, didn't I?
It's not like you.
No, but it's nice to have. It's nice to have one question.
It is, it really.
So, do you want to take it or?
You have in front of you by looks of things.
Okay, he goes. Hi guys, long time listener, second time questioner. Predict how many goals Mason Mount is going to score tomorrow night.
I'm predicting, considering how fucking shit Chelsea have been, none.
Yeah, I'm going to predict he doesn't even start.
It comes on 10
then
minutes.
Then he comes on, hits the post,
just to really twist the knife.
And then maybe the crossbar as well.
Yeah.
And then he fucks off, sulking.
Yeah, I guess.
He does fuck all.
Yeah, I mean, he did get that fucking jammy goal. Was it 2 weeks ago or a week ago? Where I think he hadn't scored in I think I read something like 20 matches. I'm probably wrong enough. I just was bothered enough 21. To pull up the info. Was it 21?
Maybe.
But essentially I'm like I don't know. I think Chelsea have just been so toothless since Potter has taken over, and that's not a indictment of Potter at all. I actually probably would come down on his side, but I just think they've looked pretty much abject in terms of attacking potency.
And now they've got Felix going because he wants to be a part of the project.
What a ridiculous statement.
What a
ridiculous move.
What a fucking fanny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hold anything against Felix. I don't give a shit about the guy himself. It's the idea of how that move has worked out. 11 million for a loan deal, 100%
and 5 million wages as well.
Yeah, 100% of the players' wages, and he just re-signed a contract with Atletico Madrid.
Fucking mad. And you know what? Wait, I tell you how bad that is, right? He's going to be a 6-month flop. He's going to go there for all that money. He's going to probably take him 6 months to get to grips with the league and the players anyway. And by the time he does, he's fucked off back to Atletico.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Has he been added to the game yet? I'm just checking.
I haven't looked.
Come on, this is something you would know.
I haven't. How the fuck would I know?
No, he hasn't been added to the game yet, so it'll be interesting.
How much do you think he'll be? He needs to go in the same price as Gakpo.
Is he going up as a forward? Is he going as a midfielder? I assume
going up as a cunt. I have no idea.
Jesus, Patrick. Language, will you? There's kids that listen to this on a regular basis.
Jesus.
I don't know. I'd imagine 7.5. New player. No one has a fucking clue in a struggling team. 7.5. But I mean, it would take some convincing to start kind of going into Chelsea attack. I mean, they're obviously going to go out and hammer Fulham now tomorrow night 4-0, and I look like an absolute idiot. But I don't know. I think I'm not too worried about Mount tomorrow night. Just to get back to Flapjack's question.
Oh
yeah, but So that's essentially it.
No, he's got none Flappy.
Yeah, no. And if you want to check out some of Flappy's work, I believe he is now hosting on the Fancy Football Scout, who we've nicked all of our fixture pictures from and stuff. So go over and check his shit out. He's a real upstanding guy. Before we head away, Paddy, because we'll keep it short this week. I think everything fixture wise and the fact that there's still so much questions.
Yeah, there's still a lot of things up in the air, but I think we covered the main things that are I wouldn't use the triple captainship. I think if you have Cancelo, you keep him. I wouldn't really be rushing to bring him in.
Yeah.
If you don't have him. Manchester United assets, Rashford is probably a must-have. Luke Shaw's flying up on the ownership, and if you have Bruno, unlucky.
You just made me feel better about having him, and then you go and say that shit.
But I like to bulge you up before I fucking bring you down. Yeah, but I think you're fine.
No, I am, and I mean it's not I'm just happy all of a sudden that Crystal Palace fixture got lobbed in there because it
Yeah,
feels like
it's lovely.
a bit of a differential going into the Dub game week,
100%. Oh, you're dead on.
Before we do wrap things up,
Mm-hmm.
Podrick, what about the FPL Hangover mini league? Now I know it's the middle of the game week, so we don't have any of the funny stats, and this might be mildly redundant by tomorrow. But as it's been a few episodes,
Yes.
I think it's only right to give a quick rundown of the top 10. How's that sound?
Do you know what? That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Would you like to take care of this, or shall I?
Well, do you have it there?
I have it there, yeah.
Oh, go on ahead then. You do it, because I'm here sitting trying to bring it up quick because I forgot clean about it.
No bother. So in first place is still Kraftwerk Richard Wenger Kraft. He's sitting there with 1,215 points total, but right up the Jaxie is Shapska Sala. He's in second place. Craig Rayner 1197, so only 18 points off second place, so tight at the top at the moment. The Invincibles Emil Siedlich in third place. Caesar Sala, Paul Ryan in fourth. Satoy Sekarapa Pap. That's a tough one. Did not see that coming. Yeah. He's in fifth place. Rocky Town United, Jonathan Doherty, he's in sixth. Kalechi Eating Nachos, 83, he's in seventh, who's also in joint seventh with my son, Leon Chung. And in ninth, No Kalu, Harry Jones, followed up the rear by Dodgy Dazzlers, Paulo Gorman. And that's the top 10. So, yes, of course, there's still one fixture to go. But
fantastic work.
Thank you, Paddy. I learned from the best.
Fantastic.
There's still some competition, I think, in that. No one's massively running away with it. I'm 75 points off top, but I still fancy myself.
That guy who's top, he listens to the podcast, doesn't he? He messaged us, I think.
I think he tweeted, responded to a couple of tweets, which is great. He's absolutely killing it. But so I guess we'll leave it there, my friend.
Sounds good. It was good to be back.
It was. We are going to be hitting it hard and heavy over the next couple of weeks. I mean, game weeks are relatively doable. There's no mad midweek things. Champions League is kicking back in and stuff, so that kind of tends to stabilize FPL a little bit. And we'll be back on a weekly basis. Paddy, where can everyone find you if they'd like to,
You can find me at FPL Viking on Twitter, FPL Viking _ that is, and you can find me on Instagram at the Viking Dippers.
Excellent. If you want to reach out to myself, I'm on Twitter at FPL Hangover, and you can also send us an old-fashioned email, which is going to fplhangover@gmail.com. If you liked what you heard this evening, make sure to leave a comment, hit like, follow, share it with a friend, all the usual stuff. Much appreciated. And before I leave you off, Paddy, is there any final words you'd like to depart? Any final words of wisdom?
No, it's just good to be back, shaking off the old ring rust, and good luck to everyone, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, if you could keep talk of your ring to a minimum going forward, that would be much appreciated.
I'll do my best.
Most importantly, enjoy Double Game Week 20.
Says the boy who wants to fucking touch my load.
I didn't want to touch it.
You said it.
Enjoy Game Week Double 20. I'm out of here.
Good luck.